It's the 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
The NBA season is in high gear, and we are so glad to have you here with us on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight's broadcast will feature the Denver Nuggets as they go up against the Phoenix Suns. The Suns coming into this one following a loss to the Timberwolves in Minneapolis. They suffered a blowout loss, trying to leave that one in the rear view and focus on the game at hand. For Denver coach Mike Maloney has had a lot of success with players buying in to his system. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's motion offense allows, players to read situations for themselves and make decisions.
And that's all you want as a player.
That's it.
Well, he pushes players to be the best they can be, and he's from New York. He's from the kin of NYC.
No doubt.
He's a no-nonsense guy.
Yeah. Are you a no-nonsense guy?
No, I'm from Jersey. I'm something else.
I know. What are you? And know what?
I'm a brick city man. Get it? Free throw line, shoot bricks.
Yeah, I know that. I was going to say that.
Oh, you know that, huh?
Yeah. So if you're not a no-nonsense guy, are you an all-nonsense guy?
No.
Are you a some-nonsense guy?
I'm a never-nonsense guy. Well, you're giving me nonsense now.
Yeah, I am.
Stop it.
I'm giving you all nonsense.
Stop it before I smack King.
I was all nonsense.
Please.
I was all nonsense first team. Let's go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Welcome to 2K Sports for another edition of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. For the Denver Nuggets, they come into tonight's game after the loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And in that game, guys, their three-point shooting really was their own worst enemy. Even when they got the open looks, they just had an inability to knock them down.
The three-point shot, an essential weapon for every team to have. It can't completely disappear as it did tonight.
And with this much of the season in the books, you get the sense teams, Brent, are starting to view areas they need to address.
Yeah, this is always interesting, Kevin. If it's before the trade deadline, you may start looking around the league for players that might come in and get you poised for a playoff run by making a shift in your personnel.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. So on the floor for Denver, Gallinari and Fareed, the duo at the forward. Emmanuel Mudiay out there with Will Barton. And it's Jokic in at the 5. And Mudiay throws it down.
Felt like they might have to open up the roof as Mudiay looked like he was jumping out of the building.
Bledsoe passes to Chris. From the arc. Bledsoe kicks to left. Booker in the corner. Phoenix no good that time either. Suns on defense, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
And you guys know how much I love aggressive defense, but in that game, they were just a bit over the top, and it wound up getting them in foul trouble.
That led the coach to make a bunch of makeshift lineups out there, guys playing different roles than they're used to, and predictably, that did not lead to a very precise performance.
Jokic a screen. Barton kicks to Jokic, and Jokic slams it in.
He really could time those perfectly. What an assist.
Phoenix has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. The pass to Chris. Here's Warren. Soft touch off the glass.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
That they did, and he's the one guy on D you can't leave alone, or he's going to get to the bucket over and over. Just torched them there.
Here's Mudiay. Following the basket by T.J. Warren. A nice shot by Gallinari.
And that 3 ball from Gallo looks good. Just very impressive form right there.
Booker dishes to Bledsoe. Len, a screen. Bledsoe passes to Len, and the foul on Will Barton. That's his first foul. Here's Bledsoe. The scoring numbers have been solid for him. He's averaging just under 14 points a game. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option. And the Suns now are clearly in rebuild mode. I mean, they thought going into the year they'd be able to compete, but last season they had to blow things up, and then you had the injuries as well. So turmoil within this team has led them to look more to the future.
The first one falls. And with the Suns transitioning into a rebuilding team, they do have, they feel, some great young talent to build around.
And it starts with Devin Booker. He looks like he can be a star in this league. Have also done a good job of collecting first-round picks to help accelerate the rebuilding process.
He's perfect from the line this time. Nuggets have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Moutier kicks to Barton. Fareed dishes to Barton, and Barton throws it down.
Whoa, you got to watch out when Barton leaves the floor, throwing the hammer down there.
Suns trail by 3. Bledsoe with it. Now defended by Moutier. High, arcing shot. Shot's good by Bledsoe.
He approaches the rim strong there and then flips up the teardrop.
Nuggets have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Moutier kicks to Gallinari. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
If you're gonna foul Gallo, make sure you really foul Gallo. Big mistake by the defense there. So much talk about Gallinari and his size and skill as a shooter, but one of the big reasons why his game can expand is the fact that he can attack the rim and do it more frequently. Shows no fear when he goes inside to try and find his way to the free throw line.
Bledsoe outside. A floater. That one no good. And it's Denver the other way.
He just doesn't seem to be himself shooting the ball right now, guys. Just looks a tad bit uneasy, and that's affecting the result.
Now, here is Gallinari. 11 points for him in that last game against Oklahoma City. Can't hit from 12.
He makes the big bucks because he's expected to knock those shots down. The D was there, but that's no excuse. He has to hit those shots.
They set the pick. Bledsoe right side. And here's Booker from the arc. No good. Shot missing. The Nuggets leading by 4. Jokic kicks to Fareed. And he can't jam it through.
Yeah, you won't see him miss many dunks unless you've got somebody right in his face, as was the case there on that possession.
A nice shot by Booker.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on.
Jokic with his screen on Booker. The feed to Moutier. From beyond the arc. Out of bounds, Phoenix takes possession.
Taking a look here at numbers for Moutier. How his last 10 games have gone. Getting around 12 points a game, 8 assists, and 3 rebounds. And with his great passing, he's been a catalyst for their offense, often seeing plays even before they materialize.
Plan a screen. Pass to Chris. Off the pick. Barton with the rebound.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Gallinari attacking, and it's Phoenix with the rebound.
Well, he has more than enough strength to fight through the D and convert that one. I'm surprised he came up short there.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
That's how you draw it up. Each guy doing his part. Beautiful fast break.
Moutier with the ball. 11 points for him in that last game against Oklahoma City.
Oh, yes, sir. And how about the execution on that play? The screen was set up in exactly the right spot.
And the finish wasn't too bad either.
Yeah, it's funny how you see so many picks, but this one sets up the defense well. No one rotates over. Bang.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. And Jokic slams it in.
That's exactly what you want Moutier doing, seeing the open man and firing that pass over to him for the clean look.
Now Bledsoe. Kicks the Len. Just 5 to shoot. Nice ball movement by Phoenix. Bledsoe with another miss.
Yeah, those are the shots that you expect him to make. You've seen it before, and so far, just not on his A game tonight.
Down low, here's Jokic, and Jokic slams it in.
Just sound ball movement by Gallinari, who gets the assist on that made bucket.
And first time out of the game called for Phoenix. And you watch Jokic play, and you can see why so many are high on his ability to be a star someday. Brent has all the tools, is a legit 7-footer, and he moves with such ease.
Yeah, Jokic has a nice face-up game and has lateral movement as a big, which is quite impressive. Sense of spacing with his passing is pretty good. His timing on defense is good. Be interesting to see how he develops in the next couple seasons.
And clearly, he's in a lot of pain. They call time, and the trainer's going to get a chance to go out and check him over.
And here we can now take a look at how the ratio was between the 3s and the 2s last season for the Suns.
And they love to spread the floor with shooting. A lot of three-point attempts, and that's been the league-wide direction, and this group has been no exception.
Suns trail by 5. Here is Bledsoe. Len, a screen. Bledsoe passes to Len. Not enough on that one as it misses. The Nuggets have gotten 8 of their 13 shots to find the bottom of the bucket. Now let's send it over to David Aldridge, who is able to talk with Earl Watson.
Well, Kevin, this team does have some powerful finishers inside. And he said that option is always going to be one for them. He said, when in doubt, I want our guys to be aggressive, get inside, and force the defense to collapse. That creates inside-out opportunities. Kevin, that's the game plan. Back to you.
Thanks, David. Gallinari. And so it looks like Denver will retain possession here. Let's check out the NBA's top producers from three-point land. Devin Booker, 3rd.
What a percentage that is for him from three-point range this season. His deep touch is about as good as you're going to see.
Phoenix on defense. Trailing by 5. Gallinari inside the three-point line.
Yeah, it's tough. His shot's been off today. Luckily, his team still has the edge in the game so far.
And the Suns here with a different look. Tyson Chandler is checked in for Len. Bender comes in for Warren. Jared Dudley's checked in for Chris. And it's Brandon Knight in for Eric Bledsoe. Big group substitution here for Denver. Terrell Arthur, he's checked in for Reed. Chandler comes in for Gallinari. Beasley's checked in for Will Barton. And Murray's subbed in for Emmanuel Moutier.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, you want your guys to attack with confidence, but that's just a bad look.
And Dragan Bender gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for the Suns. And a switcher also for Denver. Mason Plumlee's checked in for Nikola Jokic. To the inside. Here's Plumlee, and it's slammed in by Plumlee.
Well, such a big body, Plumlee does possess explosive verticality, and then, of course, a power finish.
Dudley with a screen for Knight. Feeds to Dudley. Chandler with the steal. Here's Arthur. Tyson Chandler pulls it in. Passes it to Bender to end the run. Rebound by the Nuggets. Last time they met was in Denver.
And turnovers were the story for them when they saw each other last. I mean, just a heartbreaking way to lose the game.
Now here's Chandler. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. But Brent, we all know that you come from a huge basketball family. Your dad, Rick, leading the way and in the Hall of Fame, and your brothers all played at various levels. What was it like coming up in a basketball-centric household?
Well, first of all, thanks for the underhanded compliment there. You got that, Kevin?
Yeah.
Great. Sorry about
Free
that.
throws, yes. I got it.
It was a lot of fun. Having 2 older brothers and 1 younger was very, very competitive. So maybe some of the sapling from the fruits of that tree dripped into us with regards to playing the game. And just was around it. So it felt very natural to be in the locker room, to be on the gym floor, and then eventually push the potential to see where you could get.
And some pretty good discussions around the family dinner table, I'm sure, on the game.
Some decent ones, but Kevin, we played a lot more wiffle ball, soccer, Nerf football than basketball, and most of those games never ever got to the ending. Too much fighting. Too much
some bloody
fighting.
lips. Now here's Murray. Coming in off a 10-point performance last game out. Arthur sets the pick for Murray. A floater. Chandler with the rebound. Suns trail by 7. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And it's the Nuggets ball. They've gone on a 10-2 run, not allowing much. Murray, good.
And if you don't get out on Murray, he will light you up from beyond. He's lethal.
Timeout called. The Suns.
Guard it.
Commissioner Adam Silver mentioned at some point they'll look at potentially expanding the NBA draft to 3 rounds. It's been that before in 1988. Used to be, what, 6, 7 rounds?
That's correct.
Long time ago, Brent. Should the league go back to a 3-round draft?
Why not?
But how about some of these names deep in the second round? These are kids that get cut immediately.
Well, you don't have to watch it, Kevin, but it'd be good for the league
But
to
we
have
love
3
the league,
rounds.
so of course you watch it.
Yeah, and you know, you think about the hundreds of potential players that can make the NBA, certainly be on a summer league roster so that the teams can evaluate them over the next 3 months before the NBA season gets started. So why not 3 rounds?
And with the break in the action, let's look at the stats for Tyson Chandler. 5th in field goal percentage, and he's an elite glass eater, a factor inside among the top 10 in rebounds per game.
Now here is Barbosa. He's covered by Murray. And the foul on Jamal Murray. That is his first foul of the game. Pass to Dudley. Now the dish to Chandler. Plumlee with the steal.
Yeah, 3 turnovers so far, and the real issue is the fact that they're unforced, too careless with the basketball. Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Here's Bender. The Nuggets getting the bucket. Here's Dudley. Plays it up and in on the nice reverse.
Just claimed that possession for his own there, grabs the offensive rebound and puts it right back in.
The Nuggets leading by 10. They set the pick. Murray kicks to Arthur. It's Beasley on the wing. That one's no good. That makes him 1 for 2. Bender with a wide open look. Misses the 3.
And he just hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
And here is Murray. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Just 5 on the clock. Arthur dishes to Chandler. And Chandler throws it down.
You could not diagram a better way to open a quarter.
Yeah, not only have they been the aggressors, their early execution has been off the charts.
Suns trail by 12. Dishes to Bender from outside the arc. That shot missing. Now Denver takes it the other way.
Well, whether the shots are wide open or contested, he's just having no luck right now, guys, with anything.
Now Now here's Murray. D right on him. That's basket number 2 with his third shot off to a fast 2 for 3.
You couldn't have dreamed of a much better start here than they've had today.
Just completely in rhythm, really from the opening tip, and they continue to pile up the points.
Now here is Barbosa. He kicks to Dudley. Over in the corner, Bender. Not really his range, and it's off target.
And he's still scoreless in the quarter. They might need to go to a plan B to help him get his confidence.
Here's Barbosa. Bank shot, no good.
Not quite sure why he felt the need to rush that one. He had all the time in the world and just threw it up before he was ready to go.
And there's the pass to Beasley. Denver needs to get off a shot. Here's Arthur. Knocks it loose. Out of bounds. Phoenix will take possession. "12 seconds left to play here in the first. Leandro Barbosa on the wing. Dudley with a screen on Chandler. And no good trying to get that one. And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. Nuggets lead by 14. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. And Eric Bledsoe, off the charts athleticism, skills out the door. He talks about the thing he's focusing on most.
The main one is making the playoffs. You know, we fall short every year. And that was pretty much, for me, a big thing I kind of, held on to once the season was over. I put in a lot of work, and, it's paying off, right now.
Raw but ultra-talented when he entered the league, Bledsoe now seems ready to take on that full responsibility, guys.
Yeah, he played in the shadow of John Wall in college, Chris Paul with the Clippers, but now Bledsoe has a chance to cast his own shadow.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And guys, we've seen the Nuggets really take control here.
A lot of tough D being played by them so far. It's been the difference maker.
Very physical, very active. Their defense has all the components needed to get stops.
Taking a look at the Nuggets. Gallinari and Fareed, the duo at the forward. Will Barton is out there with Moutier, and it's Jokic in at the 5 down low. Brent, you can just see the explosiveness ooze out of Moutier when he attacks a defender.
Well, Moutier can create space for himself just about at any time, and he does it with effortless movement. He cuts very well for a guard as tall as he is. So the body control and that athleticism, those are good foundations for an offensive player waiting to explode.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Well, the defense knew exactly how to play his man there. An outstanding effort.
Phoenix making some changes. Chris comes in for Jared Dudley. And Eric Bledsoe subbed in for Brandon Knight.
Eric Bledsoe.
Suns trail by 16, and the call will be against Emmanuel Moutier. That's his first foul. So it's Phoenix now. And we're starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. Plan a screen. Bledsoe kicks to Booker. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. Booker's got 7 points.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Yep, he's going to kill you coming off of those down screens. As a defender, you have to fight over the top.
Now here's Moutier. He has 6. Shot from free throw range. Unable to get that one.
Yeah, good tough D there to get a hand up and force that miss.
Got right up in his jersey. I thought they actually traded for him. Didn't allow separation. Just a terrific effort.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, remember when Roy Hibbert burst onto the scene in that great year for the Pacers, and he's still one of the league's elite rim defenders. He doesn't go for the block so much as create a wall. It's called the principle of verticality, and Hibbert says, I'm the godfather of that. I'm not going to name names, but there were some prominent coaches who said, you need to get rid of this. But Kevin, here's the rules.
Yeah, DA, he didn't invent it. He just perfected it. Thanks, Gallinari. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Watch out below. Gallinari gets up there. You don't see that much from him, but like to see it when you do.
Pass to Chris. There's the pick. Booker with no one around. No good on the three.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
And with Gallinari, he is a guy who, if he gets a few to drop early, it does wonders for his game. His confidence build, it soars, in fact, and he just feeds off his own energy to put up big numbers.
Well, there's sometimes those games where Gallinari has those moments and gets that look. He'll start to pull up from deep and drain shots and start looking at the crowd, firing up his teammates. And once he gets that confidence going, he'll start backing down smaller defenders and become a complete offensive player.
Phoenix calls timeout.
Way too many shots in close, and he's got to get his guys to cut that down in terms of points in the paint.
Yeah, maybe these matchups aren't the best for his defense. I'm sure he's taking a long look right now at the bench to find some answers.
And let's take a moment to show you the NBA's best rebounding teams over the last 10 games. The Nuggets, number one.
What a show of strength in terms of rebounding. I mean, they've really controlled the glass here of late, playing with some extreme physicality.
It's stolen by Moutier. The offensive rebound. Len sinks that one from the post.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
About 3 minutes played so far in the second quarter. Moutier pass to Gallinari. Here's Fareed. And he makes that one.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And one thing about Fareed is that even though his numbers have mostly leveled off in his career, his impact, Brent, on the floor is always greater than it shows on the stat sheet.
Well, he's a good example of a guy who doesn't show up in the box score because of what the energy and pressure bring to the game. His ability to come up with huge dunks, huge rebounds, big hustle plays, take a charge, that impacts the positivity of the Denver Nuggets.
Here's Chris. He gives a bit of a scoring lift to the team, averaging 8 points a game.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Now here's Moutier. They lead by 20. That's the most we've seen. Shot from 16. That one a little long.
That was some very intimidating, aggressive defense that really helped alter that shot.
Shot's good by Bledsoe.
And guys, there are some you can give that shot to, but let's be clear, he's not one of them. Terrible job there by the D.
Here's Moutier. He has 6. Jokic kicks to Gallinari. Jokic sets the screen for Gallinari. Lock at 6. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
And right now, Gallo just on fire. Love the amount of attempts he's getting.
Bledsoe kicks to Warren. Back to Bledsoe. Unloads from 13. Len's shot is off.
He needs to be more patient on offense and not force shots like that. The D was right up in his face there.
Fareed, no good.
Nice effort on the alley-oop, but probably not a good choice.
Yeah, I like the thought, but the execution was not there. Wide open there. The defense just completely in snooze mode.
The Nuggets leading by 16. Screen by Fareed. Moutier kicks to Fareed. Stolen by Bledsoe. And now running up the court, Bledsoe pushing it up. That's tipped. Barton against Booker. There's the feed to Fareed. Moutier with the ball. He's got 6. Oh, Fareed in position. That shot is off. Warren with the ball. Now guarded by Fareed. Lenke kicks to Booker. Pulls up on the elbow. Kenneth Fareed pulls it in. Fareed's got his 6th rebound on the night. The Nuggets moving the ball around. Stolen by Len. Barton against Booker. Got a piece of it. Now here's Moutier. Tight defense on him. And Fareed kicks to Barton. He feeds it to Moutier. Knocked away to the paint. And finished off by Fareed.
And that's what the defense gets for allowing Fareed to get room there to throw it down. He's one of the hardest working players in the game.
Now here's Bledsoe. He's got 7. Len a screen. Bledsoe dishes to Len. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. Len's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Jokic a screen. Moutier kicks to Jokic. Here's Fareed. And it's sent back by Bledsoe. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Bledsoe. The Suns making a switch here. Bender's checked in. Beasley kicks to Murray. Inside, the 10-footer. And there's Chandler. That's good on the assist by Murray. And that's now 6 points for Wilson Chandler. Now here's Bledsoe. He's covered by Murray. No good from Bledsoe.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Beasley kicks to Plumlee. Puts it up from 12. Len with the block. Here's Bender. Off the mark and a bad shot there.
Yeah, we're chipping some orange paint off the rim here, guys. He must be more patient on offense and trying to find ways to penetrate inside and get closer to the rim.
Now here's Murray. He has 5. He dishes it to Plumlee. Shot clock at 5. Murray kicks to Arthur. 9 feet out. Len grabs the board. Len's got 6 rebounds in the game.
Well, the Denver Nuggets franchise still mining for their first NBA title. They've had some very good teams, but have yet to make it to the finals. They did make it to the ABA finals back in '76. Still, these fans have yet to have a team win the West.
Just a boneheaded play there, guys. Plain and simple.
Just the teeniest loss of focus. Sometimes that can undo all the hard work the team's put in.
Here's what Phoenix has got going on right now. Tyson Chandler, he's checked in for Len. Dudley comes in for Chris. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for Devin Booker. And it's Brandon Knight in for Eric Bledsoe.
And Bender really using that 9'3" standing reach to block these shots. Just a towering presence.
And that one, good. And the Nuggets and their lack of making it to the finals. The team has been in the NBA since 1977, Brent. They've had some great teams, though, along the way.
Yeah, the Nuggets have not had tremendous team success, and you have to look back recently at the mellow years with Chauncey Billups and even Allen Iverson on those squads, and back in the 80s with Alex English and Kiki Vandeweghe and Dan Issel. Still a team starved for success.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Fearless, despite the size mismatch, took it right to him.
Now here's Murray. He's got 5. Kicks it to Arthur. To the left side wing. And the dunk by Arthur.
Give credit where credit is due right there. A terrific assist.
Suns trail by 16. Knight passes to Bender. Here's Dudley. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And they say it's a players' league. How much do you think, Brent, does coaching make? Kind of difference does it make in the NBA compared to other leagues? And how much is it motivating players, the main job of a coach?
Some of the best coaches in our league, Kevin, aren't really the X's and O's guys that can draw up a play in a timeout. It's about massaging the character of your team, being able to take the pulse of your team and the temperature of your team. Yeah, and during the right times during the season, be able to activate maybe your brain in a different way and get you out of the monotony of what an 8-month season is about. So some of the more creative minds in our game are not the X's and O's guys, but the ones who try to do a little something different just to tweak you, to keep you engaged and make sure they get the best out of you.
Great insight. Now Murray feeds it to Arthur. Pass to Beasley. Chandler a screen. Beasley dishes to Arthur. Shot clock at 6. It's tipped. Here's Plumlee. Goes back up. Chandler, no good.
Too ambitious of him there, guys. He tried to be a one-man wrecking ball instead of looking to kick the ball out for the better shot opportunity.
Knight kicks to Bender. We've got 1:55 left here in the second. Bucket is good. Barbosa's got 6 points.
And you got to love the unselfish play of Bender. When he sees a teammate wide open, he does not hesitate at all to whip the ball over to him.
Now here's Murray. He has 5. At the elbow, Chandler. Pass to Arthur. 17-foot shot on the way. That will not drop. Still looking for his groove. He's 1 of 6 so far from the floor. Dudley takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. 5 points in the game.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Nice shot by Arthur.
Well, Arthur usually on the outside finds his way inside and then handles himself down low.
Barbosa against Beasley. Chandler with the screen on Beasley. And it's Barbosa again missing. The Nuggets leading by 13. Here's Murray. Inside. And Dudley kicks to Bender. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And Dragan Bender out of Croatia looking to follow in the footsteps of Porzingis as the next European big man to make an impact right out of the gates.
Yeah, and like Porzingis, I think he has a chance to be one of those guys that can spread the floor at the 5.
Take a break.
A big man who can patrol the paint defensively and then stretch it on the offensive side of the floor.
And he makes the first.
And Bender's one of those guys just oozing with potential. A big man who runs the floor well and uses his size down close to the basket.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And Dragan Bender, playing professionally in Europe from his mid-teens, never intimidated. He plays with a motor and an aggression that you love to see.
And Bender standing 7'1" with a 9'3" standing reach. He has the length to play center, but he still has to get stronger.
Well, you have to remember, he didn't turn 19 until just before the start of the season. He'll add muscle over time, but for right now, he has the mobility and skill to play forward.
And the first one at the line is good.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
Second free throw, no good. And there's a little bit of a question as to where Jamal Murray will line up in the NBA. He's played both point guard and shooting guard in the past and has the skills to play either position comfortable.
And I think Murray has shown he can play the shooting guard proficiently. But it'll be interesting if this team sees him as a point guard long term. Didn't play that at UK, so a bit behind the curve in that sense. But with his scoring, however, you just want him on the floor no matter where he lines up.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. And so that's the end of the first half. The Nuggets on top. They lead by 14. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, guys. Here with Coach Mike Malone. How has ball movement opened up things for you offensively?
Every game we have where we get into a one-on-one game, over-dribbling, not passing, we become very easy to guard. The good thing about tonight is the ball is moving. We're trying to make plays for each other. When we move the ball, we get high percentage shots, which is all we can ask for.
Thanks very much for your time, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the halftime show on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. After 2 quarters, it's Denver out in front. They lead by 14. Kenny, what did you see from them?
I love the way they're getting after it in the paint. Moving bodies, attacking the rim, scoring at will. Sometimes teams try to hurt you with the 3-ball. They went right for the heart of the defense. Look at them to keep pounding it inside and staying physical.
Shaq, what'd you think about Phoenix?
They relied way too heavily on three-point shot in the first half. Their long-range game was off. That's my off sound, Ernie. They were off. But they still settle for the outside shots. They got to put more pressure on the defense by pounding it inside and attacking the basket.
That, sadly, wraps up the halftime show. The third quarter set to begin in just a few. We'll see you right here, though, after the game, so you have that to look forward to.
Kenny had so much more to say.
The sun pounding down in the buildings of downtown Phoenix as we welcome you back. Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. You look at Gallinari, what a contribution.
And he just went off in those first 2 quarters, guys. He's capable of doing that on a consistent basis as well. So we might see some changes from a defensive standpoint as they try to disrupt his rhythm in the second half.
Yeah, there's got to be some consideration that double teams will be sent his way. Of course, that's going to leave someone else wide open.
Bledsoe teams up with Booker in the backcourt. T.J. Warren out there with Chris, and it's Len in at the center position. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Suns. Now here's Booker, following the miss by Kenneth Faried. Shots good by Bledsoe.
And really, how about the quick release on that triple there, because he's given up a lot of height in that matchup.
Well, grab your tape measure. He sized him up, realized he had just enough space to get that one off.
Now here's Moutier, Faried, and Faried throws it down.
And you can tell Faried loves getting physical, especially when he's going up for shots.
Bledsoe kicks to Len. Now the dish to Warren. And Bledsoe has it in the corner. 5 to shoot. Denver grabs the miss. Faried's got his 8th rebound here tonight. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Here's Barton. The basket good off the assist from Moutier. And the Nuggets lead by 15.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Len, a screen to the middle. Here's Booker. And it's Denver with the rebound. Barton's got his 5th rebound in this one. Moutier kicks to Gallinari. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, the problem for the Nuggets last season was their defense. They had a hard time forcing their opponents to take bad shots. Active on the defensive end, but not quite enough force.
And with the Nuggets, Brent, they could defend at the rim, right at the top in terms of blocked shots as a team, but that didn't translate into defensive success.
Well, the block shots are one thing, Kevin, but retaining possession after the block shot is really the most important part. So as much as Denver has the defensive presence around the rim, it's still about collecting those blocks and then turning over teams and getting possession for yourself.
Gallinari hits them both. Well, Commissioner Adam Silver has said he'd like to see the league instituted 2 years out of college restriction. Brent, you played 4 years in college. I know you think that helped you. Do you think that requiring that extra development time would be a good thing for the NBA?
Interesting conversations I've had, Kevin, over the past 3 or 4 years with younger coaches in the NBA is the fact that with younger players, they have to take so much time to teach them fundamental things that chunks up a lot of the time that they would have in order to get their team ready for game 30, game 40. And so that teaching is really holding back a lot of teams from being as competitive as they should be once they get their season started. So 2 years, I think, is a great idea from Commissioner Silver. We'll see if that happens.
2 minutes into the second half of play now. Now here's Moutier. He has 6. Screened by Fareed. And here's Moutier. Wants to get it to Fareed and does. And stolen by Booker. Up the floor. Shots good by Bledsoe. Bledsoe's got 12 points in the game.
And the offense has just operated really smoothly here in the open floor.
They've done very, very well in transition. The problems have come in other areas, which is why they're trailing.
Now here's Moutier. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Timeout called. The Suns
just trying to get a break in the action to clear some heads here. I mean, they've gone ice cold, and not a bad idea to give them a little quick breather.
Well, take your breather, but then come up with a game plan or a set that produces something high percentage. Let's get back on track. And I do like the way Moutier plays, but the big area that he needs to improve upon is his offensive efficiency. He just shot very poorly across the board as a rookie, and part of that was just missing wide open shots, but some of that has to do with his shot selection.
Suns trail by 17. The drive by Booker. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And for Moutier and his low shooting percentages, Brandon will severely limit his development as a player if he doesn't fix that issue.
Well, they gave him tons of minutes, Kevin, so there's nothing like experience, but he can make plays and he has athleticism. It won't do him any good if defenders are just laying off of him, but he's got the next few years to really get down and dirty and work on his game.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Well, historically, the Suns have always been a more offensive-minded franchise, but their lack of defense really came to harm them last season, Greg. Just couldn't get any stops.
Yeah, the Suns had a tough time challenging shots and preventing easy baskets. Most of their struggles as a team started on the defensive end, had one of the worst opponent field goal marks in the entire league.
And so here's Phoenix after the Nuggets pick up 2. Dishes it to Warren. Clock at 6. The Suns need to get a shot off. Phoenix, no good that time either.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
You can see the leadership qualities on display right there, guys.
You know, he's their coach on the floor. There's no doubt about that. A great communicator, a great teammate, and as you mentioned, Kevin, a tremendous leader.
The Nuggets have knocked down 8 of 9 free throw attempts. I'd say those numbers read pretty well.
Really hasn't come together for them as a group in terms of free throw shooting, just around 70% on the season.
Still believe that the Nuggets play their best when the ball is moving around. They rely on ball movement to create shots and open up opportunities. They don't have a lot of great isolation players.
Good on both. And with the Nuggets being at their best when their assist numbers are so high, that's been a trend for them for nearly a decade.
The Nuggets have not had an all-star in some time, and they are best when relying on one another. That builds a lot of team chemistry and a lot of team confidence. A high number of their baskets were assisted on last year, and you love playing with a selfless team.
So here's Gallinari. The Suns getting the bucket. He kicks to Fareed, stolen by Warren. And now running up the court, Bledsoe pushing it up. Warren, good. The Nuggets leading by 15. Up top, Moutier, guarded by Bledsoe. Moutier passes to Gallinari. Fades back. Rebound by the Suns.
Really no excuse for him missing that one, guys. He has to knock that shot down.
Here's Chris. To the paint. Len down low. Defended by Moutier. Len, good. Len's got 6 points. The Nuggets have gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. Moutier dishes to Barton. To the paint. Stolen by Len. To the inside. Warren. Kenneth Fareed pulls it in. Fareed's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Now here's Moutier. Tight defense on him. Barton kicks to Gallinari. Jokic a screen. Gallinari attacking. An easy layup after coming off the pick. He's got 17.
You could make the case that Gallo should have got a whistle there, but you still have to give him props for finishing on that difficult drive. Yeah, I said props.
Bledsoe kicks to Len. Warren against Fareed. Just 5 on the clock. For 3, Bledsoe. He doesn't hit that one. And it's Denver the other way. They led the game at 1 point by 20. They'll be playing host to Miami for the next game. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand.
Well, the defense opens up just for a quick second, and that's where Barton takes advantage. He jets into that gap and right towards the hoop.
Gallinari against Bledsoe. Shoots the 3. Bledsoe with another miss. The Nuggets leading by 17. Gallinari passes to Jokic. Back to Gallinari. Here's Fareed. And it's good. Fought through contact, gets the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
One shot.
An exceptional job by Fareed to get a little nasty in the scrum for the rebound.
And the Suns with a completely new group on the floor. Big group substitution here for Denver. Mason Plumlee's checked in for Jokic. Chandler comes in for Gallinari. Beasley's checked in for Barton. And Murray's subbed in for Moutier.
I think the first time you saw Kenneth Fareed, you knew he was going to be one of those guys as a special undersized rebounder. Great on the offensive glass, great instincts to track down loose balls, and relentless pursuit.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Beasley kicks to Murray. Beasley the screen. Murray dishes to Plumlee. Now here's Murray. He's guarded by Knight. Murray the pass to Chandler. And again, Denver no good. And Fareed is a gifted rebounder, as you said, Brent, one of the few active players to record over 25 rebounds in a single game.
Well, he could also thank his teammates for missing a lot of shots, Kevin, but I jest. His rebounds and activity really are important for his team, and they feed off of that energy. You know, you're playing a long NBA season, Kevin. Sometimes you need a spark plug, a guy out there who's going to hop around a little bit and get you going. Kenneth Faried does that for the Nuggets.
And Phoenix has possession. The Nuggets getting the bucket. Beasley with the steal. Chandler against Dudley. Murray with it. 6 points for him. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Murray's got 9 points.
Even when the D is breathing down his neck, Murray gets it done. Just an amazing shooter with an impressive stroke.
Outside Knight. On its way from Dudley for 2. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time. Knight's got 3 assists now in this one. Now Murray. He's got 9. Beasley kicks to Faried. Down low. Here's Murray. Kicks it out to Beasley. Expanding his range. Here's Faried. And it's slammed in by Faried.
That's just a poor job by the defense to let the Manimal get the rebound. He's the last guy you want to get free under there.
Chandler a screen. Now here is Barbosa. He's got 6. Here's Dudley. And the shot falls short this time.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Basket's good.
Every time they get scored on during this run,
Shooting one.
It's come from inside the paint.
Terrell Arthur. He's checked in for Faried. Free throw, Chandler.
And Mason Plumlee, one of the better finishers in the league, especially when he gets a little room for a launch pad. He gets explosive. His offensive game mostly limited to shots at the rim, so effective on the roll when he does make the screen.
Denver's gone 1 of 4 in 3-point shots here in the third. Murray kicks to Arthur. They set the screen. Beasley outside. 3 on the clock. Arthur dishes to Plumlee. And he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Chandler a screen. Will it go? That's good from Bender on the assist by Barbosa. That's 7 points for Dragan Bender.
And not only is Bender physically imposing down low, he also can stretch the floor with his perimeter shooting. He's lethal from deep.
And it's Beasley finishing it off.
And how about the execution on that play? The screen was set up in exactly the right spot.
And the finish wasn't too bad either.
Yeah, it's funny how you see so many picks, but this one sets up the defense well. No one rotates over. Bang.
Here's Barbosa after the Nuggets pick up 2. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And here is the shot chart as we see how things are going.
Well, you have to think that he is going to look to go to the rim a little more often going forward because the 3 ball just hasn't been there. Sometimes it seems he's not getting his feet set or rushing his shooting motion, but either way, it just ain't falling.
First free throw is good. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
The Nugget shooting has been terrific. 54% on the game. Murray with it, and it's Knight picking him up. Out to Chandler. Deflects the pass. 6 to shoot. Plumlee the pass to Arthur. And the dunk by Arthur.
That one was solid. There's a big difference in the field goal percentages between these two teams here in the second half.
And some of that discrepancy is due to better shot selection. It's really that simple. But I also think they've made more contested shots.
Here's Chandler, and he uses the glass on the layup. Chandler's got 4 points in the quarter.
And I love the fact that he didn't have to slow down or adjust there. The pass was just timed perfectly.
Beasley outside. Plumlee with the screen. Murray kicks to Beasley. Now here's Arthur, guarded closely. Tyson Chandler grabs the board. Chandler's got 6 rebounds in the game. And here's Dudley for 3. That's good. The assist that time from Knight. Dudley's got 10 points in the game. The Nuggets leading by 22. Here's Murray up on top. He's guarded by Knight. Murray dishes to Arthur. To the paint. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. 11 points in the game.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Outside Knight. Now the pass to Barbosa. The 3. Another 3 for Phoenix.
And they clearly are just destroying this group right now from the three-point line.
Well, they've been on a roll ever since the break. Doesn't seem to matter whether the shots are open or there's a hand in the face.
And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. The Nuggets on top, opening up a huge gap. 2K Sports, back to Phoenix after this. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. And so here's Phoenix. So on the floor for Denver. Moutier out there with Will Barton. Then there's Gallinari. And it's Nikola Jokic. And it's Arthur in at the 4. Bledsoe passes to Len. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Nice to see Mike Malone back out there on the sideline. He left Sacramento in kind of, Brent, an odd situation to say the least. But he is showing he is a solid coach in the NBA.
You know that saying, Kevin, where things work out as they should? For Mike Malone, I think the Denver Nuggets is exactly where he should be. He did a tremendous job in Sacramento, especially getting through to DeMarcus Cousins, and it was a bit shocking that he was removed from that position. But Denver swiping him up, moving forward, and now they have a coach for their future.
Good on the second free throw. But there's been some talk that the dependency on three-pointers is bad for the game of basketball. Even Greg Popovich, your former coach, said they weren't great for the sport. Do you see any truth in that?
Well, I think Pop's just upset that he didn't have as good a three-point shooters on his team over the past couple of years. I don't think so, Kevin. I mean, the game is moving towards the three-point line and expanding the space and pace type of offenses that we've seen, and teams having great success doing that. It's really hard to fault a team like Golden State, who's the blueprint for that sort of activity, motion, and scoring prowess. That's what teams are looking to do. The copycat league is underway, so more three-pointers are coming. Well, the D looks like they're laying off just a little bit. He made 1 3 in the first half, but they're still daring him to shoot, and he can't make them pay for it.
Bledsoe left side. Pass to Len. Booker left side. Again, the miss by Booker. The Nuggets leading by 18. The feed to Arthur. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Perhaps the biggest positive for Darrell Arthur is his ability to punish defense with that jump shot. He's so good at the mid-range and pick-and-pop situations. Really easy release lets him consistently make jumpers if he gets himself into open space.
And he knocks down the first one. And perhaps the best part about Arthur is that his range can extend out to the three-point line, Brent. Very helpful in pulling out defenders.
Yeah, Darrell Arthur can hit the three if you give him some space. And a big guy who can step out like that frees up a lot of driving lanes for your guards.
And both free throws good from Arthur.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Bledsoe kicks to Len. Len, a screen. 6 on the shot clock. Baseline try. Another one falls for Phoenix.
He has such a nice touch for a big man.
He gathers himself so quickly, really has a great instinct for hitting that mid-range jumper.
Now here's Moutier, defended by Booker. Off the pick, and the dunk by Arthur.
And a hard finish there, guys.
Yeah, and only one hand needed for that one. Kicks to Len. And with the rise of advanced stats, the big movement in the league, we've seen a bit of a backlash from the traditionalists and the scouts. You saw it in baseball. We're seeing it in the NBA. They say you have to watch the game to understand it. You can't boil it down to just numbers. But I think what you've always said is they can all work hand in hand.
The numbers are interesting, Kevin, and obviously if there's some way that you can combine what it is that you see and backed up by the statistics, it'd be silly to think that you could get more information and that in some way you can't use it to your advantage.
The first one falls, and the Nuggets making a change here. Fareed is checked in. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. And Warren with the basket on the assist by Bledsoe. Bledsoe's got 5 assists in the game. And here's Moutier. Gallinari on the wing. To the middle. Shoots a 3. Drops in the tray. Gallinari's got 20 points.
I mean, letting that guy shoot freely from out there, he's going to destroy you from the perimeter if you do that.
To the left wing. Fareed against Warren. Len kicks to Booker. Len, a screen. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. Well, it's something that we know goes on during play, but is rarely talked about. Brent, did you ever trash talk during a game or get trash talk too?
I heard many things. I pretended not to hear them,
yeah.
Kevin. And the only time that
I can see you start to laugh, though, when you heard stuff.
I did. I found more enjoyment out of it. Even though it was something very personal, I still found enjoyment. And the only time that I would talk trash were the times that I got to play against my brother John, because I knew he couldn't handle it.
Yeah, and you knew his soft spots.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Brothers always do.
He has plenty.
Out of bounds, Suns ball as Phoenix keeps possession.
Risky pass in a situation like that. Very lucky that wasn't a steal.
Well, good hand-eye coordination, but he could only get the deflection very close.
Bledsoe outside. They set the pick. Just 5 to shoot. For 3, Booker.
Well, he got off to a terrific start from the perimeter, but in the second half, he can't seem to build on that early success.
Barton kicks to Moutier. Passes to Jokic. Here's Moutier. He feeds it to Barton. Back to Moutier. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over.
Yeah, pretty much unforced there on the bad pass. He has to just make better decisions on the delivery when he's getting it to his teammates.
For Phoenix, they've gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. Bledsoe kicks to Booker. Back to Bledsoe. Inside. Here's Len. And it's Jokic with the rebound.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
You know, Brent, injury is a part of the game, but the league is being proactive, creating research partnerships with major medical companies to look at reducing stress-related tendon issues, concussion research, all of it being, I think, now looked at by the NBA and the medical side of the league.
I love the fact, Kevin, that they're using modern-day technology, not just after it is that an athlete gets injured in order to perform a procedure medically to get him back on the floor sooner. Really what NBA teams are investing in is preventative medicine, being able to gauge what it is that players are putting themselves through, the stresses on their body, both mentally and physically, and being ahead of the curve with regards to making sure they prevent these injuries from even happening in the first place.
The science is amazing, isn't it?
Well, I was more of a math student, but yes, science is amazing, Kevin.
Here's Chris. He dishes it to Len. Releases from 15, and it comes off the front of the rim.
I have no clue what happened with the defense there, but they should be thanking their lucky stars that somehow he bricked that golden opportunity.
Moutier passes to Jokic to end the drought. And another miss by Denver. Suns trail by 19. And Booker kicks to Len. Here's Bledsoe. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet. So it's Denver now. Moutier with the ball. Fareed outside. Feeds it to Barton. Pass to Jokic. And Phoenix pushing it up now. Here's Booker. No good that time. Some solid defense from Fareed. Denver leading by 17. Now Moutier. Jokic a screen. Gallinari inside the three-point line. And again, Denver no good. Here's Chris. And it's Denver with the rebound. Fareed's got his 16th rebound on the night. Barton with it, now guarded by Bledsoe.
Well, Will the Thrill Barton is improved, and I'll tell you why, Kevin. He put the time in, working tirelessly on that shot. Became a legitimate three-point threat from the wing and saw his point totals soar.
Thinking about Barton now, with his ability, Brent, to stretch a defense, it opens up a lot of lanes for himself and his teammates.
Well, he's always known how to attack the rim, and now it's about his decision-making to do one of two things: get in there or stop short for the pull-up jumper. He's showing that now.
Both free throws good from Barton. In watching Will Barton play, or rather as he's known, the people's champ, you know, Brent, you have to love the energy and aggression that he plays with whenever he's out there on the floor.
Well, there's something about the blue-collar player, Kevin, that I think everybody who's a fan of the game always is attracted to. That's what Will Barton does. Very easy to cheer for, and he gives you everything he's got every night.
And in that first half, guys, they didn't shoot nearly as many threes as they have here in the second, trying to use that shot to stay in the game.
Moutier dishes to Fareed, puts the move on. The basket good off the assist from Moutier. 14 points for Kenneth Fareed.
Yeah, the first half was really tough, but he's really rounded a corner here and been fantastic shooting the ball here in the second half.
Len passes to Chris. Len a screen. Bledsoe kicks to Len. Gallinari with the rebound.
Yeah, unfortunate there, guys. Just a poorly set screen, and he didn't want to sacrifice his body to spring open his teammate.
Barton in the corner. To the inside, and he slams it one-handed.
Ooh, and that dunk had some anger to it. I mean, usually he's content to just go up and get the finish with the soft touch.
Not that time. The big man looked like he had something to prove there.
Yeah, you love it when big guys play big. That's the reason they have all those screws up there on the rim.
Denver leading by 20. The dish to Moutier. I think everyone would agree that NBA players now spend more time developing their strength and athleticism than in the past. Maybe Michael Jordan was the first to really popularize that. How would you approach it if you were coming into the league now?
Well, I think every player understands that when you improve the most, Kevin, it's during the offseason. And so guys either ask other players in their area who it is that they're working with and try to get together so that they have some company while they're in the gym, or they find some trainers that are going to push the limits of their potential so that in the offseason they can come back next year bigger, better, and stronger for that season.
How can you play in the league now if you don't have a very comprehensive off-season schedule?
It's absolutely a year-round job, and there's some people on both coasts and in the Midwest that specialize in getting NBA players in particular ready for their next campaign.
No luck. They battled on the glass but couldn't knock it down.
Yeah, his shot just doesn't seem to be synced up right now. Here's hoping he finds it soon, because his team is really going to need that production tonight.
Jokic sets the screen for Gallinari. 5 to shoot. Excellent use of the screen that time. Gallinari's got 11 points here in just the second half.
And with the defense right up on him, Gallinari did not panic at all. Simply drops that one over the contest.
Barton dishes to Farid. Stolen by Warren. To halt the run. Denver grabs the miss. Jokic has got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Now here's Moutier. Farid, a screen on Bledsoe. Screen by Farid. There's the triple. And it's Gallinari missing. Phoenix has gone 2 or 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Bledsoe passes to Chris.
Kevin, is there another player out there capable of moves as stunning as that?
A handful at the most. He is in elite company. And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Kia. Good stuff on that Kia Slam Cam. Moutier kicks to Barton. And here's Moutier. The pass to Jokic. Releases. And no good. Trying to use the glass. The Suns shooting a lackluster 38% for the game, struggling so far.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Nuggets.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And now, for the year, this is going to take them to 7 wins.
And they're able to even the score of this series at a game apiece. Still 2 more to go in the season series. And so many key players that you could point to tonight, but in particular, a great game for Danilo Gallinari.
He did anything and everything it takes to get the job done on the offensive end tonight. There was just no tool in the shed that he did not use against his opponent. And look at that explosion of points. He was awesome.
And he gets it to go.
The offense has clearly kicked into gear. The question, though, is it just a little too late?
Definitely too late. The time to rally was when the game was in the balance. Now you're just creating highlight reels.
19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Moutier kicks to Jokic, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Len. .15 seconds left in the game. Clock at 6. Here's Murray. Barbosa with the steal. So it's the Nuggets winning this one easily. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Brett Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And as the fans file out of the building, now time to head over to Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith for the postgame show.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hey everybody, Ernie Johnson, along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, seen here. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Danilo Gallinari. He made countless big plays in this one, and that's what they've been encouraging him to do more of. Could be a great confidence builder for him going forward. What are your thoughts, Kenny?
He was a threat every time they fed him the ball. He was in attack mode offensively. So much confidence. Wow, unbelievable.
With 2 straight losses under their belt, they needed someone, Ernie. Somebody had to step up in the game, and he was the man to do it. He gave them exactly the lift they needed.
And that is a wrap, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. See you again soon.